Hey guys, how you doing today? So I'm gonna be doing a video on where pretty much it's just gonna be like a rant, I guess you could say, on expecting fathers. Yes, myself, I'm an expecting father. My baby is due any day now, and so far it's been like a roller coaster. You are like, as an expecting father, I mean, you get stressed out like very easily because it's like every time your wife's like, oh, I got like a cramp, a stomach pain, when it gets close to the due date, you're like, this baby's coming out. So you literally start panicking and you're just like, okay, where's the overnight bag? Like, do I know the route from here to the hospital? Which I probably don't know too well, so I should probably go from my house and literally take like a test run there, you know? And it's just like, okay, well, what do I need? Because, like, you don't want to leave your wife at the hospital, right? So it's like, it's not like, oh, I gotta go home because I gotta get this or I gotta do this. You know what I mean? It's like you literally want to be there for everything. So you want to be totally, like, physically prepared. So you always, like, or you're always constantly checking, okay, make sure that I have this, I have this. And it's also very stressful, too, because it's like you want to get things done around the house that you have to get done for the baby. So you're constantly like looking for things that need to be done. I mean, is this done in the kids' room? Is that done in the kids' room? Is this done in the kids' room? You basically like are constantly checking things around your house to make sure that everything's done, everything's in order, everything's good for when the baby comes, because once you come home with that baby, you don't want to be like, okay, I gotta do this and start hammering shit in and start, you know what I mean? Well, the baby's trying to sleep. And while your wife's trying to sleep, most importantly, because at this point, your wife is very tired, she's in a lot of pain, she's sore, she just wants to get the thing out. So you can imagine that once it's like time for her to actually push the thing out, she's going to be pretty goddamn exhausted. So you want to make that transition from hospital to home as smoothly as possible. You don't want her to walk in the door and her to feel overwhelmed because she has to do this, she has to do this, she has to do this. You just want her focus to be strictly on the kid. You know, especially if she's breastfeeding, even if she's not, she's got to make the formula. Like, you got to help out with this stuff as well. So you want to have that checklist up here of everything that you got to help out with. You know, you got to help out with making bottles, diapers, this, that. If you have a diaper genie, you want to make sure you have the bags. There's a lot of things to constantly go over. So as like an expecting father, one of the stressful things as well is that mental checklist, because you know, you want to check, make sure you have like the little things, like I said, like the bags for the diaper genie. You want to make sure you have enough of a supply. You want to make sure you have a good supply of diapers. You want to make sure you have, you know, enough sleepers, things like that. You always got to have that mental checklist for expecting fathers. So yeah, you also, and also you want to make sure that your wife is as comfortable as humanly possible. You know, so you don't want her really doing too much. So you have to really just get up, step up your games. You know, help clean up the house. You know, do dishes, shit like that. Let her rest and relax as much as humanly possible, because having a human being inside you is probably not the most comfortable thing in the entire world. Like, I could just imagine what it's like to hold a human inside you that's like trying to escape through your body. It definitely cannot feel too good, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's also if you work like full time, you always want to have your phone on me. Like, I know when I'm at work, I'm always have my phone on me now. I always constantly check it every time I get a message, because it's like, especially when your baby's due like any second, you don't really want to get like a message that's like, I'm having the baby right now, and then you check it like 2 hours later and it's like, what? Like, is it, you know what I mean? Like, you want to just check that as soon as you get a message, because if the message is like, I'm having that baby right now, you got to get your ass home, you got to get your wife into your vehicle, and you got to get to the hospital. So you got to know your route, like I said, fastest route to the hospital, that type thing. But yeah, it's definitely a lot, especially when there's close calls, and you're gonna have the close calls, like I said. You know, when contractions start, that type thing, especially if it's your first child, you're going to start panicking. Your head's going to be here, then it's going to be there, then you're going to kind of start to feel a little overwhelmed. It's going to be like, holy shit, this is actually happening. Like, you know, I'm going to be a father. Like, this is actually real. It's going to hit you like a ton of bricks at that point. So you just want to do your best at mentally preparing yourself. And nothing could really prepare yourself for it. But you got to do your best to just mentally prepare for it and to just physically prepare for it. And you know what I mean? If you have pets as well, you want to make sure that, because you don't really know how long your wife could be in hospital for. She could be in hospital for, you know, just a night, 2 nights, a week, you know, whatever. You know, you don't really ever know. So you want to make sure you have, like, if you need a sitter for your pets, you want to make sure that you have that lined up in advance. Just make sure everything's taken care of and everything is good to go. So anyway, guys, that's my little rant and everything. I hope you guys like. Check down in the description for the links to the blog and everything else. Like, comment, and subscribe.